Hi, all my Facebook friends. Welcome to another edition of Grondike's Let's Talk. You may notice in the background we have some new logos because next month we're celebrating our 90th anniversary. So we've been in business since 1932, and that is really awesome. You don't see that a lot these days. So, congratulations to everyone. Thank you to the Grondike family for building such a great company, and we'll be doing some celebrations next month in honor of our 90th anniversary. So, thanks everyone for all you do. I also wanted to remind everyone that this is a live event. So if you're watching from home or your truck or somewhere at a terminal, please feel free to throw some comments in there and ask some questions. We got some great feedback throughout since our last episode, and so we will address those. There are a few that are a little bit more specific, maybe to pay, that we will address those with each individual on an individual basis because it's hard to get into in a group setting. So, one of the questions that came in was regarding something that Aaron had mentioned in his last Let's Talk episode regarding owner operators and a lease purchase program for drivers. And this is something we're still considering, but as you all know, this isn't really our business model. We pride ourselves on being a company operated, company driver operated, and that's what works best for our customers. So you'll remember when we acquired McKinsey Tank Lines back in 2019, we brought over several independent contractors at that time. It just wasn't a model that really fit for us. It's not something that's off the table though, but as you know, Grondike's really going to take serious consideration and look into this because if we do something like that, we want to make sure that we do it right, that we do it properly. So I think that's important to remember. So stay tuned. Again, it's still on the table, but we don't have much more information at this time. We had another comment that came in regarding the comfort of the seats in our Kenworth tractors. And I do know that on the new tractors we're ordering, the answer from Fleet was that we're going to be getting, they're called Premium 2.0 high back air suspension drive seat with 2 air lumbar integrated cushion extension, tilt, and adjustable shock. So from what we understand, these are the highest quality that come from the OEM, so all of our new tractors will be getting those. We also had some feedback regarding the submissions to the feedback and support function of the GT mobile app, and this is something that we did miss. So there was a position group that was monitoring those, and we realized that that function never got transferred when that position went away. So the IT group is going to create a process to get those suggestions emailed to tech support by the end of the month, and then they will send them out to the appropriate departments for feedback. So thank you for bringing that to our attention, and we're still going to find ways where we can get feedback from all of you. Let's Talk is one of those ways. We've also automated the Good to Great form via the mobile app, so please take advantage of that. What else can I say about feedback? Again, your terminal managers, driver managers are always a good source for you to reach out to if you ever have any questions. You can always call the Grondike Talent Office, and we can steer you in the right direction as well. So thank you for that, and we're going to continue to find ways to provide methodology for getting feedback from you all. Before I go on to my other couple of points I wanted to mention, Matt, do we have any comments or anything just yet? Okay, just reminding everyone that you're welcome to add questions into the comment section, or certainly send those to the group email. What is it? social@grondike.com. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email social@grondike.com. I wanted to take a few minutes to discuss mental health. We've all been through a lot through the last, 2 years now? When you take the pandemic, we're all dealing with inflation. We certainly see the news about political unrest and the hearings going on now about the Capitol and There just seems to be all this bad news all the time. And I wanted to remind everyone that we do have options for counseling through MD Live. MD Live now offers licensed counselors for a much smaller fee than you'd probably get in person. So I wanted to encourage you all to reach out if you need help. So I want to just add that I myself have been to counseling. Other members of our senior leadership team have been to counseling, and it could be for a myriad of things. My particular instance had to do with when my kids left for college, and I didn't realize that some of the emotion that I was having had to do with empty nest syndrome. And let me give a shout out to my 25-year-old son, Wyatt. Today is his birthday. So, I just wanted to remind everyone there's no shame in how you're feeling. And if you need a little extra help to get through some rough times, please reach out to GTO or benefits or use that MD Live mental health option. And you would really be surprised to how much it can help you. So we encourage you to do that. I also wanted to make another big announcement that you will see more information coming to a terminal near you by the end of this week, but we are now going to offer sick pay to all drivers. So as of July 1st, all drivers will receive an allotment of hours of sick leave that can be added on at every anniversary date as well. So that is exciting news. We're glad to be able to provide that benefit for drivers. It's long overdue, in my opinion, and I'm excited to get to share that news with you today. So your terminal managers will be getting more information about that very soon, and you'll see information coming through via the mobile app. There's even directions on how to request time off for sick pay, whether it's a doctor's visit or whatever else, through Workday. So is how you would do that, just like we do vacation. So that's exciting news. Stay tuned for more on that. Matt, do we have any questions? Great.
We have a couple. The first question is, does your company employ foreign national drivers from South Africa? And if so, how can we apply?
That is a great question. So the question is, does our company employ foreign national drivers from South Africa? I will tell you that we have a program with experienced associates, and we are working with a number of drivers that we've already interviewed and vetted that are experienced drivers that we've made conditional offers to. Here's the problem. The problem is that there is a backlog with the Department of Labor, with the National Homeland Security to try to get EB3 visas for these drivers to be eligible to work in the United States. So for Grondike, our program is temporarily stalled. I'm not interviewing any other drivers at this time, but Experienced Associates in South Africa has other clients besides Grondike, so I would encourage you to reach out to them. We could put their email address up in the Facebook feed later on this morning to get that email address to you to where you can reach out to them, because hopefully they have some other clients that are still actively pursuing drivers. Again, we're just in a waiting game. It's a lot of paperwork, a lot of bureaucracy, and things that we just have to hurry up and wait and see if we can get this done. So,
on top of that, there is a pinned post regarding this on the top of our Facebook page.
Oh, great. Great. Matt reminds me that we do have a pinned post at the top of our Facebook feed. If you go to our Facebook page for Grondike Transport, you'll see more information there. So thank you for that, Matt.
And then the next question we have is, what is the minimum experience to be considered as a driver for hire?
The minimum experience required to be a driver for hire, we prefer to have somebody that's an experienced tractor trailer driver. So when you're hauling tanks, it's a little bit of a different dynamic to have a liquid commodity in your tank versus driving vans. But we're going to look for at least 6 months to 1 year of experience. We do, on occasion, hire students directly out of CDL schools. These CDL schools have been vetted by our safety department, so you will have to have graduated in the top of your class from one of those approved and vetted schools. So if you'd like to know what those schools are, or if you are eligible for that, You reach out to the recruiting department at 877 GTI Work, and they can steer you in the right direction about your location and if your school is one of those on the approved list.
And then we got a thank you from the person who asked about South Africa.
You're welcome, our friends from South Africa. I know there's a lot of you watching today, so I appreciate that. And a shout out to my friends Rob and Carmen in South Africa as well.
And then, do you need to be enrolled in the GT Health Plan in order to use the MD Live counseling?
So yes, I do believe you would have to be enrolled in the GTI Health Plan in order to use the counseling services. We're looking into some other options that would be outside of the plan. Again, we're in very first preliminary stages on that, so I don't have any more information. But in order to use the MD Live mental health, yes, you would have to be part of the health plan. That's a good question.
We have a few more questions.
Great.
So will the rider program ever be looked over again?
Okay, the question is, will the rider program ever be looked over again? It's not something that's come to the top of anything for senior leadership here recently. I could tell you, with the nature of what we're hauling in hazardous materials, we've never had a program to allow pets or other riders, simply from a distraction standpoint. And also there's an insurance liability there if you have another human that's not part of Grondike Transport in your tractor with you. Certainly it's something we can look at again, but again, it's mostly primarily due to the safety sensitive nature of the commodities that we're hauling. Good question.
And we did get a couple of comments, basically very pleased about hearing about the driver sick pay.
Getting some good comments about hearing about the driver sick pay. Yes. I think this is probably one of those things, and maybe a not so great thing about being a 90-year-old company. That's always sort of been the standard in trucking, that drivers don't get paid unless they're working. And that's always been the methodology. But just because we've always done it that way doesn't mean we should continue to do it that way. So I would say this is definitely long overdue, and I'm excited to share it. And I think it's going to be a great benefit for all of our drivers.
Bouncing back and forth in
Sure.
topics here.
That's part of a live broadcast. We're going to bounce back and forth.
We have a follow-up question on the rider program.
Okay.
What about bobtail?
Follow-up question on the rider program, including bobtail. So there is certain rules around personal conveyance when you're driving without a trailer. But I think most everything is going to have to be approved either through terminal management or through the planning center. So make sure you touch base with either your terminal managers or your safety professional.
And then another follow-up, what about non-hazmat or empty?
So non-hazmat or empty, I would just say that the rule is the rule. I don't think we're going to go outside of the rule and try to say that we would manage that, okay, if you're empty. Seems very strange that you would have a rider program where you might just pick someone up after you've just dropped a load and bring them back empty. I don't see administratively how we could monitor something like that. So it's either going to be one or the other. So if something changes, we'll certainly be able to communicate that with you all. So great questions.
We got a thank you on that one.
Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you.
One more question so far.
Okay.
This is a question that someone's gotten from several drivers. Is there any thought for GT to reconsider looking into getting 3 weeks of vacation moved from 10 years down to 5 years?
So the question is, there's comments about moving the amount of vacation earned sooner in your tenure. I would say that not at this time. It's something that we did consider, but we just decided to go with this one initial change with the driver sick pay. So it's something that could be on the table in the future, but not something that we considered for this first change in our time off benefits. So thank you. Good feedback, though.
That is all the questions we have.
That's all the questions we have. So again, I will just say I want to thank you all for what you do for Grondike. I want to say congratulations and happy anniversary. Celebrating our 90th is a really big accomplishment. So thank you all, and we'll be looking for more questions coming out of our emails. Send them on Facebook, however you'd like to do that. We appreciate your feedback and we want to hear from you. So please continue to send those to us. And thank you so much for your time. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.